Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello, everyone. What is going on? Welcome to the broadcast. Cool. There's 33 people in the chats. How freaking awesome is that? We are living in some crazy, wild times, everybody. It's crazy and wild. But I am so thankful to be here with you guys today to talk about the astrology of the winter solstice, which is tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's been crazy heavy energy, like nonstop. I've been like crying for like, on and off for like a couple days. My sister's pug had to be put down. It was time for him, but like just stuff like that. I mean, just kind of gnarly, heavy energy. Let's see who's in the chat. Thank you for being here, you guys, and thank you for watching these broadcasts. So we've got Warrior of Light, we've got Ellie and Dewey, we've got Eric, welcome, Valerie, welcome, Taria, welcome, Chrissy, hello, Sheila, hello, Kelly, how's it going? Divine Energy, welcome in. Shannon, welcome in. Anne, how's it going? Jess, welcome. Yeah, it's been rough. AF. As if. Just kidding. All the feels. Yes, it's been intense. Oh my God. I mean, I don't even know where to begin, honestly. I mean, this just like, it's that freaking heavy. Like for the last couple of days, I've been feeling this like intense, like I feel like there's an emotional wave going through the collective. I feel like there's major purging. I feel like everyone's like, there's confusion in the air as well. All of these things are coming up. Hello, Myra. Hello, Tina. Hello, Dawn. Anslin. Yes. So I've been, talking to my sister on and off today, and it's just been like one of those days. What's going on, Wendy? Hello, Sephi. Welcome in. First live, I made it from the UK. Well, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Hey, Kayana. And also make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I do have some news to tell you guys. Okay, good, Anne. Yeah, you're not crazy. We're all crazy. I'm just kidding. So up until maybe about a couple hours ago or so, I was like, okay, like I realized that we have a choice when we are confronted with really heavy energy. And at some point, somebody's got to step up, and it's got to be you, for yourself. And you have to do your best to find your strength again. And it was really really beautiful for me to experience the stepping into my power again. I started playing music that I really love, and I was singing along. It was Ajit Kaur, and she's has this beautiful voice, and she's very soothing energy, and it just it felt right. It felt like, okay, it's time to heal. It's time to release. It's time to let go. It's time to surrender as well. Hey, Magali, how's it going? And that's literally what, this time right now. I mean, honestly, I can't believe we're all here right now, the day before the winter solstice, which is the longest night of the entire year, the most darkness of the entire year, but yet somehow this is a new beginning, a massive new beginning. And we're all here. We all chose to be here right now at this time to hold space for each other, to inspire each other, to show each other the way, to open the door for ourselves and for others, and just to be in sacred space, because that's what's going on right now. And if imagine, the people that are not aware or not conscious or just kind of feeling all this and not knowing what the heck's going on, how crazy it is for them. At least I feel like I'm aware, I'm conscious, I know what's going on. I'm going to just keep rolling with it, because the truth about the Aquarian age is that it is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of unpredictability. It is the planet of uprooting, and it is the planet of instability. And it's like when the lightning strikes, and it happens really fast, and then you have to take action. So we don't get much warning, right? In the age of Aquarius, we're not going to get much warning. We have to be ready to go with the flow and to roll with the punches. And so that's what I feel we're all being really, truly asked to do. So one thing I'm going to recommend, I'm going to highly, highly, highly recommend, is that you make sure you get on my email list, because that is going to be your most secure connection to me. If you want to know what I offer, if you want to know what I'm doing, if you want to know what's the next project and all kinds of things, if you want to receive my weekly moon magic report, make sure you get on my email list, because honestly, with everything that's going on, especially with all different social media things, I'm not going to go into details, but all these kind of crazy social media things, there's big changes coming, big changes. And it's important. I feel it's really important for me to tell you that I would love to stay connected with all of you, and to make sure that you do that is to get on my email list. So, yes, amen. I thought Jai was lighting the house on fire with the sage today. I was. I was. Oh my God. Hello, Len. Welcome in. Listening with my 11-year-old making decorations for our family. Beautiful. That's awesome. So, some of you may have noticed I posted a few things in my Facebook groups, on my Instagram that I am transitioning to a couple of different social media apps. One is called Parler, Parler. Yeah, Parler. And the other one is called MeWe, MEWE. So I'm going to recommend that you guys hop on over there and follow me over there, subscribe to it, create your account, and make sure that you follow me. All of my Facebook groups, all of my stuff, all of the community things will be transferred over to MeWe. And then Parler, I'll be posting as well. So that's where you can find me from now on in terms of social media. And I'm actually excited for what's to come. I'm excited for the future. I have been thinking for a while that this was something that I was going to have to do eventually. I didn't think it would happen so suddenly, but then again, here we are, Aquarius energy. Saturn has moved into Aquarius, and so has Jupiter. And so we just gotta remember, go roll with the punches. Roll with the punches. You will survive if you know how to adapt and if you know how to move forward, keep moving forward. So it's very thankful for Parler and MeWe for being available and for being open to also holding groups and things like that. So if you're wondering, if you're like, find yourself later on watching this video like, what happened to Jai? Why is she not posting anymore in the groups? It's because I'm now on Parler and MeWe. But I wanted to tell you guys that right off the bat. And if you want to know more information about the transition, then go on Parler and MeWe and follow me. And I will be in this coming week. I have so much to do. I don't have time right now, but in the coming week or so, I am going to be uploading a video on there and just kind of talking about the whole thing and the transition and all that and why and all these things. So that's where we can communicate about those things. Ellie says, thanks for the ad on MeWe. Yeah, you're welcome. I just downloaded me. Awesome. Yeah. So it's just new platforms, new social media platforms with a lot less BS, I guess we can say, and a lot more privacy. So let us get into today's topic. I am actually so excited for Tuesday because Tuesday is the day that we are going to be going live on Zoom webinar. I'm doing a live class. If you want to join me, it's just $33. It is called The Magic of Venus. We are going to be talking about the rulership of Venus, the Venus, Moon, Stargates, Venus in the 12 signs, Venus in the 12 houses, the 13 phases of Venus, and the mythological stories of Venus and the goddess and where they come from and what they resemble. We're also going to talk about the magical, the five-pointed star that Venus makes during her transit or her orbit through the signs and what that means for humanity, and how in 2022 we're going to see a big change with Venus moving into a new star point, and also how to find these things in your chart and how much more information this gives you, not just about relationships, because we think Venus is really the planet of love and beauty and all that stuff. But there is a duality to Venus. She is, yes, the planet of love and beauty, but she's also the goddess, the warrioress. And she is the one that can embody both realms at the same time, both energies. And she goes through these beautiful transformations and transmutations through her journey. And we go with her. We go to the underworld with Venus when she does her retrogrades. And she only retrogrades every 18 months, and they're very predictable retrogrades, and we know exactly where they're going to happen, and we know exactly how it's going to affect us. And it affects us not just personally, it affects us, our relationships. But Venus in your chart, there's so much more to it than just what sign she's in and what house she's in and what aspects she's making to the other planets. There's a certain star point that you were born under, there's a certain Venus phase that you were born under, and all of that really helps you to learn more about how to embody the light of Venus in your life and how to embody your mission, because it has to do with your ascension, your mission, your part in terms of humanity and the ascension of humanity. Now there's 44 in the chat. Wow. I just freaking love that. So make sure to sign up for the Magic of Venus. We go live on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can sign up. There's a link in the description of this video. Hello. Hello, everyone that's just coming in. Welcome, welcome. All right. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. Thank you to all of the moderators. Yes, we also have the podcast. I have not been able to even get into the. I wanted to put one out for the new moon eclipse, but it just did not happen. I am like swamped with work. I'm so grateful for it. I just want to thank everybody who has signed up for a reading from me in these last couple of months. You've literally like helped me in my own life. I am officially moving at the end of the month to Arizona. I am so freaking excited. We finally found a place and I just can't wait to be in the sun again. It's been so cloudy here in Portland. It's been like, oh my God. So there's a lot of big changes coming in the future. I am going to be in the next couple of months getting ready to do a moon goddess training. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to stay updated, then make sure you get on my email list. And let's see, what else is there to share with you guys? The podcast will be coming out at some point before the end of the year. I'll be coming out with that podcast. And don't forget, tomorrow is the solstice. So we're going to be doing the ceremony tomorrow night. I'm going to do a ceremony. And and then next week is the full moon in Cancer. I mean, it's just like one thing after another. Hello, Alexa. Hello, Colette. Hello, Deepa. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, so let's talk about this winter solstice astrology because it is like really, really wild. There's a few things that I prepared for this broadcast a little bit differently than I have for astrology broadcast, because when you talk about this powerful conjunction that's happening right tomorrow, what you need to do is look into the past. Where did we start to notice that it was coming, right? And then you have to look into the future and see what's ahead. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about how do we know that the Aquarian age is here. We're going to talk about the significance of Saturn, Jupiter conjuncting and how they're calling it the Christmas star or the Star of Bethlehem. We're going to talk about the Great Awakening timeline. So the timeline of 2020 and all the intense powerful like astrological like hits that we've been getting this year. Like when you put it all together, holy moly, there's a lot. We're going to talk about the significance of the winter solstice, and then I'm going to go into the astrology of the winter solstice, the actual day tomorrow. There's like a few things that are kind of moving into tomorrow, and also if there's any fixed stars, which there are, and then we'll go into the Sabian symbols and the Chandra symbols. So are you guys ready? Just give me a yes in the chat or a little emoji in the chat to let me know that you are ready. So again, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for sharing this out. Please make sure to follow me on Parler and MeWe. It's at Gobind on both platforms. And I have moved the Channel for Grace Starseed Soul Tribe onto the MeWe app. Okay. So what is I can't believe that it's here either, Alexa. So what is the Aquarian age timeline? And how long have we known or have we seen that something is coming collectively in humanity? And the truth, and it all really starts, yes, I love it. It all really starts, my timeline, and what I want to point out is the first thing is in 1781, when Uranus was discovered. So up until then, we knew about the sun, the moon, obviously. We knew about Mercury. We knew about Venus. We knew about Mars. You know, then there's Earth. We knew about Jupiter. We knew about Saturn. And but we didn't know about Uranus. And so in 1781, Uranus gets discovered, and then it's decided that he rules the sign of Aquarius. And in astrology, Uranus, in mythology as well, Uranus rules the skies. He's the original ruler of the skies, of the heavens, which is astrology, which is as above, so below. And so we start to realize that in this moment, astrologically, looking back now, something was up. Because when Uranus came around, we started seeing a lot of crazy changes going on in the world. And that's what Uranus rules. He rules Aquarius energy. So he showed up on the scene and it was like, okay, humanity is starting to shift. Then in 1846, Neptune was discovered. And that is the planet of, it's our dreams, it's the subconscious mind, it's the ocean. In 1930, Pluto was discovered. So now we're talking like we went from having these personal planets to holy moly, there's a whole new world and it's out there. And it's way out there. So with these planets starting to get discovered, hello, Stefan. Awesome. Hi, Martina. Starting to get discovered, it was like something was saying, hey, everybody, listen up. It's time to start looking up at the sky, looking up towards the stars again, because they had been kind of quiet until then. I mean, we think of astrology as something really ancient that was used in ancient times, but then it wasn't really until recently where it started like kind of popping. And it was with the discovery of these three planets, the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And these are the planets that rule, right, the things that affect us from the outside towards the personal. In 1992 and 93, there was a Uranus and Neptune conjunction. It was one of those powerful conjunctions. They conjuncted in the sign of Capricorn. And that the reason that's significant is because they initiated, hey, Shannon, they initiated the change that we've been seeing this year in 2020 with everything Capricorn. Capricorn rules governments. Capricorn rules structures. Capricorn rules like the old world. Capricorn rules those in power. And what we've been seeing is so much structural shifting. And that's why it's so shocking to our system, because there's so much changing so fast outside of us that it feels like the world's falling apart. And it is. It is. But you can't be afraid of it because it's been prophesized. This is the time we've been waiting for. So to have fear in a moment like this, it defeats the purpose of why you came, of why you showed up. Instead, this is the time to be in your power. This is the time to step up, to not be afraid, to step into leadership by being who you are, by living in your own sovereignty as a human being. And that's why it's so powerful. So we move up to 2020, we have the powerful Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which literally says the old world is ending and the new world is beginning. And then we move to tomorrow, or right now, because it's already happening right now, 2020, the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which is literally the new world begins. And I think that it was like a 1405 was the last time that Saturn and Jupiter conjuncted, I think in Aquarius, and that brought on the Renaissance. So like super quick changes. This time around, this conjunction is much more galactic and multi-dimensional. Now, in 2021, we're going to see the big things of 2021. So 2020 was Saturn and Pluto. It was also, it's been Pluto and Jupiter conjunctions. I mean, it's been these crazy eclipses. We'll go over that in a moment. But in 2021, the big thing is going to be squares to Uranus from Jupiter and from Saturn. And the squares to Uranus are significant because Uranus rules the Aquarian age, Uranus rules Aquarius energy, and Saturn and Jupiter are both going to be in the sign of Aquarius. So that means more change, more shifting, more unpredictable things showing up, because it's like an earthquake. Uranus literally, I think it actually really literally rules earthquakes. And so that's what it feels like. Like there's this like massive earthquake going on. And people are like noticing, oh my God, it's really happening. Now, in 2022, which is something that we're going to talk about in the webinar that I'm doing on Tuesday night called The Magic of Venus, we're going to talk about how in 2022, we are going to see a new star point of Venus. She has sacred geometry that she makes throughout her orbit and her astronomical relationship with the Earth and the Sun. And she currently makes a star point in Scorpio, but it's so close to switching to Libra. In 2022, it will officially switch into Libra, which means that for society, the star points affect society as a whole. She's going to come into her own sign of the goddess of the skies, the celestial goddess of love and beauty and harmony. That's coming in 2022. We're going to go into detail on Tuesday night, so make sure to sign up for that class. There's a link in the description to do that. So in March of 2023, and then again in January of 2024, Pluto will be entering the sign of Aquarius. He'll go into Aquarius, and then he'll retrograde and come back into Capricorn, and then go back forward and go into Aquarius officially January 2024, where he won't be going back into Capricorn anymore. So officially January of 2024, Pluto enters Aquarius. So this is the futuristic. This is the future. This is multidimensional beings. This is more awake, more people awakening, more technologies, the way that we communicate galactically with other beings. You have to pay attention to the emotions. It's a mental wave. Think about Aquarius as this mental wave. So you have to pay attention to the mind and how it affects the emotions, because we are literally going to be able to manifest more quickly. It's already happening. You think it's there. So what are you manifesting? Then in 2041, right? So 20 years after today, in 20 years, there'll be a new star point, and that one is going to be in Pisces. So that means that Venus will have a star point in Libra and in Pisces, which means that more harmony, more love, more compassion. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. It's going to be, this is beautiful. That will bring in the harmony. But until then, we have to work on figuring out, like cleaning up the mess, because there is a mess. And then in 2165, now that's even further into the future, Uranus and Neptune will both be in Aquarius. We'll move into Aquarius. And that's going to be Neptune saying, okay, Uranus, you got it from here. And that, all those things are literally the Aquarian age timeline. That is what we are going to see. That is what we're living through right now. And again, we chose to be here at this moment. We have to stand in our power. I wanted to talk about the Christmas star, or the Star of Bethlehem, and the significance, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can see with your eyes Saturn and Jupiter coming closer and closer together in the sky. They're like, from my point of view, it's like you see the moon and then Saturn and Jupiter are like over to the right of the moon a little bit. But there's these two bright, it looks like bright stars, but they're planets, and they're coming together. And the crazy thing is that we can actually see it with our eyes, at least in the northern hemisphere. And what they're making is, when they come together, they're going to make this really bright star. And this is literally happening during the winter solstice tomorrow. But we'll continue to see it because they're kind of, okay, now they come together and they kind of like, they go together for a while. So you'll see them together in the sky for a while. This phenomenon, which is visible to the naked eye, hasn't happened in 400 years. I think it was 1623 the last time that it happened. Like, what? That's crazy. It's known as the Star of Bethlehem. This was the star that the 3 wise men supposedly followed to find baby Jesus. This star was the prophetic marking of the coming of the Messiah. So how crazy is it that we're seeing that happening this year among, I'm going to go over right now, among a million other things happening in 2020 that are like so significant. Like we don't just get one significant thing. We get like 100. And somehow we're supposed to like integrate all of that intergalactically. Like it's crazy. But does it mean Christ consciousness is coming back? I believe so. And I don't mean in a religious way. I mean in a heart-centered way. What is Christ consciousness? It's living in your heart. And I follow this beautiful guy. His name is Matias de Stefano. He's Argentinian, and I feel a connection to him because we were both born in Argentina. And he's on YouTube. You can find him, and he goes live every single day. He's in Egypt right now. He's been like hanging out by the pyramids and going live every day and doing these little cool meditations for everybody to like hone it in and like connect and align, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. And like his spirit guides are talking to him and like, hey, this is what you got to do. And everybody else, like it's like the warriors of the light, you know, we're waking up. But I heard him say the other day, and I was like, wait, what? When he was talking about the eclipse, the total solar eclipse that we just had in Sagittarius, he said that his spirit guides told him that the focus of the eclipse was to cleanse all the uteruses of the world, of all the women in the world. And the reason he said that, he said, because the king is coming back. And I was like, what? What did you just say, Matias? Like, are you kidding me? What do you even mean? So is he being literal? I don't know. I feel like symbolically we can feel it. The cleansing of the feminine, the arrival of the light, the sacred life. I mean, it is arriving. It is arriving. So I'm not going to say, okay, you know, like Matias just made this wild prediction, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't know if it's literal or not, but it's something is happening, you know? And when you think of that, you know, that Venus energy moving into those star points, moving into Libra and then Pisces, it's like, that's Christ consciousness. That's harmony within the people. And then Pisces is like the divine, the last sign, the completion, you know? I mean, whoa, the ascension. So this is crazy. Yeah, this is so interesting. So yeah, that's right, Taria. So she says, so interesting. K Moon described this time period as passing through the birth canal. I mean, yeah, for reals. Divine energy, Matias with a T, de Stefano. Yeah. So that is like literally what's happening. And so I just literally went through like, okay, what's the timeline for the age of Aquarius? Look at the past, look at the future. We're right in the middle of it, like right smack in the middle of it, experiencing it. Like, oh my God. And it's super overwhelming. It's super overwhelming. Now we've got this Christmas star like showing up during this time. We just had an eclipse that was like the hope of the future. And if you look at the timeline, if we just look at 2020, let's do that. Let's just look at 2020 and see what's been happening in 2020 since the beginning, because this is like the climax, right? Like, one of my favorite astrologers is the Leo King. You know, I follow him. I love him. He's like a brother to me. We've never met, you know, but like, he's probably like, oh, crazy groupie. I'm just kidding. But I've always felt this deep connection. So the Leo King has his sun at 0 degrees of Leo. And I have my moon at 0 degrees of Leo. That means that his moon, his sun, and my moon are exactly conjunct. So there is a definite connection. The other thing too, if you have anything, any planets or anything at 0 degrees Leo in your chart, anywhere near there, like within an 8-degree orb, that means that this year, all that Aquarius is going to be opposing that point. And right now, exactly at 0 degrees Leo is where Saturn and Jupiter are. And so it feels like a galactic attack on my soul. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean the intensity of it. And so he's been talking about it. He's been going live and doing his thing, you know, on High Vibe. And I mean, I'm like, I'm feeling it. I'm freaking feeling it. It's heavy AF. And it's like, you know, like an electric, like the lightning bolt strikes and you got to go with it. So let's look at the timeline of 2020 so we can get like, you can wrap your head around what astrologers have been trying to say like for the whole year. Like, wake up, everybody, wake up. Like, it's happening, you know? Okay, so here's what we've seen this year, which makes it such a powerful year. So in January, the first thing that we started the year off with a bang. The Saturn and Pluto conjunction happened. Yeah, exactly. So the Saturn and Pluto conjunction happened, but it didn't just happen like, oh, it just happened. No, it happened right around the time where there was a lunar eclipse. Right around the same time. Jupiter entered Capricorn, and throughout 2020, Jupiter and Pluto made 3 conjunctions together. And those conjunctions they're about money. Like money systems changing, like economies and things like that, like on a wide scale. Okay, so Saturn, Pluto, the end of the old world, the destruction of the old world. Jupiter and Pluto, the ending of the old systems of money and economies. Right? In May, the nodes moved into North Node Gemini and South Node Sagittarius, while Venus was having her inferior conjunction. And she was in Gemini. So she was with the North Node. And remember, I just talked about it. Venus only goes retrograde every 18 months. So it's like 1.6 years. And she was with the North Node, like activating the galactic collective like relationships and saying Gemini, focus on Gemini energy, which is the duality. And that was her start point. This year, she created a start point. It wasn't a new start point, but one was like edged into the timeline, a start point in Gemini. Now, during this retrograde, this happened in June. During this retrograde, we had 3 eclipses. We had one of them, or there was 3 eclipses. Well, one of them was powerfully aligned with the royal stars Antares, which is the heart of the Scorpion. It was the moon in Sagittarius was with Antares, and the sun was with Aldebaran. So the moon was with the South Node, the sun was with the North Node. And then during this time, we also saw 2 new moons in Cancer. One of them was an eclipse. And the moon cycles like did this weird flip. They enter this kind of like backwards flow where now we're seeing that like the new moon comes, the full moon comes before the new moon. It's like a new timeline. It's like an interdimensional like switching of timelines. And then to top it off, I don't know if you guys remember, right during this time where Venus, okay, so the inferior conjunction of Venus, when she's retrograde, she goes into the underworld, and it's like a cleansing and a purging. A cleansing and a purging, collective, personal and collective, where we reemerge, and she reemerges as the morning star. During this time, the 40 days and the 40 nights that she goes retrograde, which is another symbolic number that we're going to talk about on Tuesday night for the Magic of Venus webinar, we saw Comet Neowise pass over the sky. As if that wasn't enough, you know what I'm saying? There's a freaking comet, like this huge comet, and it's the white color has a huge tail. It's a bright white comet, and in prophecies and in symbolism of comets, the white color and the bright white color is like good. It's a good omen. It's a good omen. It was like something's coming, you know? I mean, if you can imagine, like in the ancient times when they saw comets like that, it's like, what? You know, like, oh my God, like God's speaking to us. He's speaking, you know? So like, that's kind of what it was like. But that was just up to June. Then Mars went into Aries. And there was this crazy long transit. We're still in it. It's 6 months long of Mars in Aries in his home sign. He went retrograde and then he went direct. Now he's direct and he's about to go out of shadow. But like this is huge because we haven't seen that transit of Mars in Aries retrograde for that long for years. And not just that, he made he is, and he will continue to make squares to Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto multiple times while this transit is going on. So Mars in Aries is the activation of the sacred warrior. That's the people, right? The people against all that Capricorn energy over there with the big guys. So then we just had, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Wait, 1 week ago? It's 3 weeks ago? A lunar eclipse in Gemini. Get this, though. How crazy is that this Gemini eclipse that we just had was aligned with Aldebaran and Antares again, just like we had it in June, except they were flipped. In June, the moon was with Antares, the heart of the Scorpion, and the sun was with the North Node, Aldebaran, which is Archangel Michael. This time, the moon was with Aldebaran, and the sun was with Antares. What is that about? Like, what? Like you can't even, there's just so much. I could go on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. It's like the sun and the moon just switched places and then activated that galactic Stargate again. But that's not all, because the sun, oh my God, this just is crazy and crazy. So then we had a total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. This was like on the 14th of December, like a week ago. We just had a total solar eclipse in Sag. In the place of Ophiuchus, near the galactic center. I just can't even with this astrology. And then a week later, with the winter solstice aligning with the great Saturn-Jupiter conjunction at 0 degrees of Aquarius, making the Christmas star in the sky, and we could see it. Oh my God. No wonder, like, people are overwhelmed. Like, what is going on? So if you didn't think times were crazy enough, that's just 2020, okay? And then in a week, we have a full moon in Cancer right before the year ends. It's like, so it is wild, 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 wild. You can't make this shit up. Okay? Like, that's what's going on. So, what's the significance of the winter solstice? Okay? Because the winter solstice, it is the darkest night of the year. But the winter solstice also, it doesn't celebrate the darkness. It does celebrate the darkness a little bit, but what it actually is celebrating is the return of the light, the return of the sun, the return of the king, the Star of Bethlehem, the return of the light. And the total solar eclipse of last week was a glimmer of hope, literally going its totality over a little town in Argentina called Esperanza, which means hope. Dude, the light at the end of the tunnel. And then this day, when the sun literally comes to a stop, we prepare for what comes ahead. So winter is a time of planting seeds, of rejuvenation, of pause and inner reflection, of rest, of rebirth, of sovereignty. It asks us to remember the wise old teacher or the crone and the wisdom that comes from the stillness. After tomorrow, after December 21st, the light begins to return and the days begin to get longer and longer. We could use the return of the Jedi. This is also a time of embracing the darkness, the womb of all creation, with the sun, with the galactic center, where everything comes from. And it is from that darkness that all life emerges. But the sun is, during this time, the sun always aligns with the galactic center. I know, it's amazing. It's mind-blowing what's going on right now. Mind-blowing. I want to show you the chart of tomorrow, of the solstice. Here it is. You guys are cracking me up. If you have not done so yet, make sure you follow me on Parler and MeWe. They are the new social media apps that I will be hosting all of the stuff that I normally host on the other apps, which I am no longer going to have. So if you want to stay connected, get on my email list. There's a link in the description. Also, make sure to follow me on Parler and on MeWe. The Channel for Grace Starseed Soul Tribe has now been transferred over to there. So that's where you can find it. Okay, so here we are looking at the chart of December 21st of 2020. Mine will be pink. Right. Okay, let's look at what's going on. Look at this over here. Look at that. What is going on? Sorry, this stuff just blows my mind. No, yes, YouTube will remain. Yes. But until I get my app going, my own personal app, and then start putting videos up on there, and yeah, anyways. So, look at this. Sun, Mercury, 0 degrees. This is tomorrow. Capricorn. Saturn, Pluto, 0 degrees of Aquarius. The Sun and Mercury have been literally align with the galactic center. Now, what is the galactic center? The galactic center is the womb of all creation. It is the very heart of the Milky Way galaxy, the center of our solar system. Through this giant black hole, which is like a birth canal, which is the center of the galactic source emitting wisdom, a stream of galactic consciousness comes through. Choices involving the dichotomy of heaven and earth can be present with significant points in the natal chart in these points if you have this in your chart. Barbara Hanclau in the Pleiadian Agenda calls the galactic center the ninth dimension. The Pleiades say that the galactic center is the ninth dimension. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. So that's like the consciousness, galactic consciousness, like a beam of consciousness coming to the planet right now, like, you know? That's what being aligned with the galactic center means. There is also, if you look at this, so tomorrow what happens is the moon is going to continue its transit, and then later on in the day, it's going to move into the sign of Aries. The moon right now, I mean, it's in Pisces, but tomorrow it'll literally square the sun. So moon will square the sun when it moves into Aries, which is powerful because that means that the moon will be conjuncting Chiron, and then later on will be conjuncting Mars, activating that sacred warrior energy. The other crazy thing that is also exact on this day, look at this. Pluto at 23, and then look at, where's Mars? Here it is, Mars at 23. There is a square. This is, I believe, the last Mars square Pluto of the year. But this is like, I mean, if you're going to get to the nitty gritty, Mars is literally the god of war. Pluto is the god of destruction. I don't even want to think about it. So moving on to the next one. So the next aspect is Black Moon Lilith right now hanging out with Uranus. Here they are right here. And remember, Black Moon Lilith is the renegade goddess. And Uranus and Taurus is like the uprooting. It's the instability. It's like the earthquake that shakes everything up. And then we have to clean it up, right? It's the revolution. Like Uranus is revolutionary energy. At the same time, there is this powerful quincunx from Venus, who is herself close to Antares, Ophiuchus, which is the 13th sign. Oops, you can't even see that. Which is the 13th sign, right? So that's the sacred feminine, the DNA activation, the heart of the scorpion, making a quincunx to the renegade goddess and Uranus. More intense, like powerful, shifting energy. Activating energy. Huge, huge shifts. And awakenings. Really, this is what awakening, this is a time of awakening. We're going to have also, right, we're seeing this right now, the moon and Neptune coming together in Pisces, activating that the sensibility, the sensitivity. And of course, right, the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. Not to mention that the North Node is right now aligned with a fixed star called Rigel, which is part of the Orion constellation. So it's an Orion starseed marking an Orion energy. It's like the Orion starseeds are being awakened right now. So if you have an Orion starseed marking in your chart, This is a time of awakening because this means that the collective North Node is aligned with your mission. By the way, if you want to know if you have starseed markings in your chart and what they are, I now offer starseed marking readings and also astral starseed DNA activations, which you can sign up on my website if you want. But Orions have this insatiable thirst for knowledge and often ask many questions because they need to have more information, new ideas, new ways of thinking. This is what the North Node is activating. It's about discovering and discerning truth, but to a level of mastery. This is also about understanding the dualities: heaven, earth, light, dark. Orion starseeds are eternal seekers. They're students and wise masters, all wrapped up into one. This is what the North Node is activating, but for the collective. So it's wild. It's wild, wild, wild. What I wanted to show you guys next, let me go back to the full screen here. So that's the chart for tomorrow, but now I wanted to go over the Sabian symbols and the Chandra symbols for 0 degrees of Capricorn and 0 degrees of Aquarius, because there is a huge significance with that number. First of all, like 0 is the beginning. I mean, it's the beginning. That's why it's so significant. It marks the beginning. And Saturn and the significance of Saturn and Jupiter coming together is that they come together every 20 years. And this is the first time that they're coming together in air signs. And from now on, every 20 years, they're going to come together in air signs for the next 500 years. So we're talking about 20 years of this Aquarius energy, Uranus energy, right? The Aquarian age. And then we're talking about a new 500-year cycle of mind, mental energy, mental activation, technologies like mental stimulation. So what are these new beginnings? What do these things represent? Let's talk about it, because I think it's going to blow your mind. This is my favorite part, the Sabian symbols and the Chandra symbols. Okay. So what is the Sabian symbol for 0 degrees of Capricorn? Are you guys ready? Okay. So 0 degrees of Capricorn. And what the Sabian symbols do is the Sabian symbols actually, they activate a symbolic energy. They infuse the chart with symbolic energy that sparks, like, right, symbols activate the mind and they activate the body, mind, spirit. It's very ethereal. Symbols can inspire you. Symbols can teach you. Symbols can show you the way. So what are these symbols for these degrees? That's what Sabian symbols are, and Chandra symbols. They are to inspire a vision. So what's the vision for the Aquarian age? That for at least for the next 20-year cycle. The vision is, here's the Sabian symbol. At a tribal council, a Native American elder interrupts and with great authority outlines the basic facts of their situation. What does this mean? This is leadership based on a realistic, hard-nosed appraisal of the situation and its needs. We're assessing where we're at. This is practical intelligence. This is confidence in one's position and one's cause. Yeah, right? Winning people over with patience and good manners versus raising people's hackles through arrogance or bullying. Convincing people that one is strong, sane, and reliable so that they'll willingly accept one's leadership. Addressing the needs of the public. Leading people in some new direction. Do not accept opposing views gracefully. May build themselves up by tearing others down. That's interesting. Devising a practical game plan to reach one's goals. Persevering despite ongoing obstacles in one's path. Overestimation of their powers may cause their downfall. Need to listen to the advice of people they trust. This is about integrity and a backbone. So that's 0 degrees of Capricorn. What is 0 degrees of Aquarius? So remember, all of these themes are interplaying with each other. I do also think it's significant that this is the energy of Native American wisdom coming through with this symbol, because the Hopis, at least it was the Hopi Indians that prophesized, and they reference the Pleiades. Like in many prophecies, right? You got the prophecy of the white buffalo calf woman who said that the star beings will come, the kids from the stars, children from the stars will come with my wisdom within their hearts. I mean, it's very, very significant that the Native American wisdom is coming through with this Sabian symbol. Now, 0 degrees of Aquarius. This one is really cool. A square white schoolhouse in a pioneer community. A pretty teacher looks out of the doorway and rings a handbell, summoning the children to their first day of school. What? This is about the future as an open door, full of exciting possibilities. This is about being open to new experiences, new people, new places. This is the pioneering spirit waking up. This is Saturn and Jupiter for the next 20 years, you guys, taking to the road and following the buzz to where something is really happening. This is being plugged in and in the know, adopting a life mission where one's natural talents are aligned with what actually needs to be done versus ending up with situations that seem arbitrary or absurd, knowing when to move on. This is about exemplary efforts on behalf of the community, strengthening one's country's traditional ideals by translating them into serviceable modern forms. That one's kind of intense. It's about going the extra mile in group activities in order to inspire others to greater efforts. The magical school bus. This is about standing squarely within one's beliefs, embodying one's beliefs in one's daily life, teaching by example. Like, what? Whoa. Whoa. So, what is the Chandra symbol for 0 degrees of Capricorn? Now, the Chandra symbols get a little bit more etheric. So here we go. Capricorn, 0 degrees. A canopy bed with curtains. Standing on the inside of life. Protected and guarded, guided and led, held fast, kept so far back inside that what does express itself is purely a ceremonial display, a formal declaration. The observer or witness empowered to prevail, able to see, to realize, to comprehend the mysteries. Clairvoyance, keenly sensing and viewing meaning and value, purpose and spirit backbone. So very strongly and steadily directed from within that there is no outer, there is no thing to do. Instead, you center yourself and align with who you truly are, and stalwartly remain in the place of authority and power and inward truth as your statement and the only thing you know. Whoa. And the last one. 0 degrees of Aquarius. A two-headed calf. A two-headed calf. Taking a good look at things with an eager eye brings you right into the middle of a dilemma of polarities. As you stand there faced with the different sides, you are impartial. Neither side pulls you more sharply than the other. Immense opportunity. Huge challenge. You have vital potential for brilliant synthesis, but a subtle temptation to think too long. A schooling in alchemy in every moment. Do you find what is ready to emerge, or do you think about it? Progressive evolution draws you through your mistakes into all that can be. Dude, it's so intense. It's so intense right now. I belong to several different spiritual groups on here, but none are having lives tonight for the winter solstice. I hope it's okay. Well, welcome. Please join us. Exactly. What did I just read? Like, what? I'm going to have another live tomorrow where we're going to do an actual ceremony and a collective reading and drumming and holding sacred space and calling in the 4 directions. I mean, tomorrow is a day of ceremony. By the way, I was going to go live in the morning, but I decided I'm not going to. So I'm going to just tell you guys, 10:20 a.m. Pacific tomorrow morning, that's 1:20 p.m. Eastern, that's when you got to be in meditation. Because that's the exact conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, and that's the moment where you just got to take a moment wherever you are, sit down, close your eyes, and pray. Or make a wish, light a candle, be in sacred space, and then in the evening we'll all come together and do the collective reading. So we are definitely having sacred ceremony tomorrow night right here on this channel. Make sure you get on my email list. Make sure you go find me on Parler and MeWe at Gobind. Everything has been transferred over there. I'm going to be posting over there. So if you like seeing my posts, just go over there and find me and find the community, and let's connect in a safer space. And I hope that you also join me Tuesday night for the magic of Venus. We go live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on December 22nd to talk all about Venus, her beautiful cycles, her beautiful phases, her beautiful retrogrades, everything that she represents in your chart and beyond. I love you guys. 10:20 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. is when you got to be in meditation. 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow is when we're going to gather here live on the channel. And 6 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday is when we do the Magic of Venus. Make sure you sign up early because the fun part is to be there live. It'll be available for purchase afterwards, like on Wednesday, and I'm going to upload the replay, and there'll be a replay, but it's really fun to be there live and to be able to ask questions live in the chat. I want to thank you guys so much for all of your support that you have given me throughout the years. Seriously. Since my Periscope days. By the way, Periscope is shutting down. I don't know if you knew that. Periscope is going to shut down in 2021. I mean, things are changing and things are changing fast. If I can leave you guys with one thing is to just keep rolling with the punches. Don't skip a beat. If this is not working, go find what works. Just keep moving forward, but definitely stay connected. The best way to stay connected is to get on my email list. That way, if anything happens, you know where to find me. I love you guys. Thank you so much to everyone that has signed up for the starseed readings and astral starseed DNA activations and the webinars and everything. I appreciate you all very, very much, and I do not take this for granted. Thank you again. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a beautiful evening, a beautiful night. And tomorrow is a sacred day. It's a sacred day tomorrow, you guys. Sacred. The Star of Bethlehem. It's more than you think it is. Much more. Love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow.